welcome to another edition of the Sports One. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
We are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Report. Not any edition,
No.
The 700th edition. And we have Tony, we have Michael and Michael on the other side of the glass,
dude.
here in the boathouse. And what a spot to be. This is great. And
Oh, yeah.
we're just saying, let's do it here every day. No?
Yeah, I mean, this is so cool. We got this giant room, courtesy of the Knowlton. Shout out to Sharon,
Shout out
too.
Sharon. It's coming in early.
Yeah, came in, called me up this morning. Didn't expect to have this monitor wall behind us here. We did gaming corner here last night too. If you were watching, this monitor wall was down. We were just working around it, and Sharon was like, "Hey, I'll come in the morning, fix it." I was here. He was here. We were here. And he did a bang up job. Shout out to him.
And shout out to you, Tony, and Domac for setup here.
Yeah.
Looks
Domac
great.
did a great job this morning on the setup.
This is
This
awesome.
is a totally different setup than last night too.
Quite literally broke it down and then
We
turned
were
it
down
around.
here.
Yeah.
We had the monitors here. It was dope.
Yeah, it was sick.
Orange is loving it right now.
Yeah, no, honestly, you know me.
Right.
I'm all about
Yeah.
comfort. You know, I have a
Yes.
tendency to lounge.
Yes, this is perfect, huh?
This
yeah,
couch
the
is really
back
comfy, dude.
support
We need to get
is
new
very
chairs in
comfortable.
the
Yeah, I was
studio.
gonna say definitely it's different from the chairs in the studio.
Yeah. Honestly,
which is funny.
those never bother me though. I think the biggest thing for me is I just don't like sitting like on a stool or something.
Right.
Like no back support, then it's a problem. 'Cause I
Yeah.
usually hunch. You know.
No, yeah, exactly. Then you're almost like forced to hunch. Now I'm like kind of like my chest out, my back is a little straighter. I'm just kind of look at me, dude.
Yeah.
Look
Yeah.
at you. Look at you.
Look at yous.
Oh, dude.
And it's just crazy too. I was thinking about this morning. Like I remember the first Sports Sport episode ever did, coming in the front entrance. You weren't even here, Tony.
Oh my gosh.
I remember the first time I met you two. I'm like, who's this guy with the combing his mustache?
Yeah.
I just like had
Some chief.
no idea.
Can I tell my story about you?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, cool. So I always tell this story about Brian, and he wasn't even there. And what's dope about it is Matt and I were driving on Sasco Hill Road in Fairfield, where the new Batman now resides. He lives at the end of the street. And we're talking sports, obviously, just chatting it up about downtime. And he's like, dude, I have this boy, Brian Barnaby, already double B, sounding like an alias superhero name, Brian Barnaby. And then he turns into the superhero that is here on the stage. And he's like, telling me the casual thing, Tony, you know how it is.
Yeah.
Oh, he loves sports.
Right. Yeah.
So
Huge Yankee
much.
fan. Loves it, dude. He's the
Oh,
bro.
And you're
yeah.
thinking like, let me see this, chief.
Right.
Not even
literally.
just that. Not
No,
even.
because obviously you didn't know me, but
No.
you're just
But we just got out. I just graduated from the sports media program.
right.
And everybody there loves sports.
Mhm.
But what I failed to realize is, and I say this all the time when explaining Brian to other people, out of everyone in the sports program that I was there, because there's a lot of sports heads there, you combine them, put them into one person, and then you know how much they love sports, times that by 100, and then maybe that's Brian Barnaby.
Maybe.
Maybe. So that's my Brian Barnaby. And ever since then, it's just been amazing having you as the host, and you really took the show to another level. And we see the numbers when you're not here.
Yeah.
They do take a hit. So that's star factor. Right
Oh,
there.
yeah, dude.
It's just crazy.
Not a huge hit.
Not huge.
No, but honestly, it's just crazy how the time just goes by. 700, like that's crazy.
Dude,
not that it seems like we just started
week
yesterday,
17.
but 700 is a lot of shows.
Honestly, dude, I mean, it really is crazy. And I feel like, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't feel like 700. That's
Right.
for sure.
Right.
But to hear like that number is pretty crazy. And I can't wait till we get to 1,000.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's
Josh
honestly,
B's already
like-
planning the party.
Dude,
Oh,
it's pretty crazy to
Can't
think
beat that, Josh.
that, like,
you
it's-
know he's on top of it.
if you
Yeah.
think about it now, it's like, oh wow, that's another 300. It's almost another year, and you're like, wow, it's so far away. But We're on 700, dude.
yeah.
You know, like it's gonna be here so quick, dude.
Yeah,
And I'm pretty pumped about it.
It really is. It really is. And I'm definitely pumped myself. And it's just so amazing how everything works out. Because, I always tell people all the time, I just didn't expect for this to happen. And it all just started with, I hadn't talked to Matt in a while, and I just one of those things. Like I just randomly that day decided to call him, and he just happened to be at a shoot with you guys. And it just so funny. You always just think like, oh well, what if like I just didn't call him that day? You know what I mean? It's like it's just crazy how that happens.
I wouldn't imagine the show. I can't imagine it without Brian.
Yeah, it is.
It probably wouldn't be.
It is unbelievable, and I think the thing why we all enjoy it so much is it's like it really is the conversations that we have all the time. Whether it's on camera, off camera, it's the same conversation.
You're always just talking shit about the Mets. Doesn't matter.
But I think the one thing with that, Tony, that you can give me is though if they step up, prove themselves,
he's gonna give
those respect that they deserve. But when they don't, and then people are chirping,
right.
Brian doesn't respect the chirp with the loser.
I mean, you could understand that.
No, yeah, of course, dude.
Yeah, and listen, I'll be accountable too. The Yankees have been pitful for their standards the last since 2009.
Very pitful.
But
yes, that's a true thing.
There is a different feeling this year, and I'm just so excited for that. And of course, we have a lot of stuff to talk about.
Oh yeah,
also,
yeah. Go ahead.
I have a lot of comments.
Yes.
You know me,
nice, dude.
So first off the rip, we have Kev Do with the. He's got it. Let's go. Nice. We had Michael doing some behind the scenes technical difficulties. We want the smoke. Congrats on the show. February 18th is all over a week away, and he cannot wait. Can't wait till Sunday after we smash our pick. And I feel like that's directed towards you, Brian.
Oh, yeah, for the Super Bowl.
Hashtag TCA, hashtag DTV, hashtag SportsPort700.
Let's go. Can't wait for the 18th.
Then we got
Josh B's excited for the 18th.
Josh B with another let's go. There we go. Really sick. Congrats on 700. You guys deserve a million more. Hashtag TCA, hashtag SportsPort, hashtag DTV.
Josh B.
We have the Knowlton coming in hot saying, congrats, guys. Thank you, Sharon and the Knowlton.
Thank you, Sharon.
We love it here. Big Rangers win, Josh B. Michael Bukta. Oh, yeah, guys. Tatum couldn't afford that studio. After he went 2 for 12 from 3-point line last night. He sucks. That is so funny. Barnes is riled. Corey's
fired up. Let's go.
Kobe is getting his statue unveiled tonight at Staples Center. It's only right that we honor him with the 700th episode. The Sacramento Queens lost the game last night at home. Nice stash, Charles Wolf to Tony. Congrats, fellas, from Mary, Tony's mom.
Oh,
yep,
thank you.
Saying congrats, fellas. And then Kev, you just don't trust Brian's picks.
Dude.
Tomorrow is the day of destiny. Super Bowl picks.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy. And we have to figure it out. I mean, obviously, we'll just talk to Josh and Kev, but just how we're gonna do it, like because they're obviously up 1 for the playoffs. So how it work, like, you know what I mean? So that we have a chance to win.
Right.
I don't know. Like any thoughts just off the top of your head how we could do that?
I mean,
or I guess it's
player
just like
props.
I guess we just do the total too, and then
no, we have to
win
total.
Both.
Yeah,
that's just what has to happen. And I and I could be wrong, and obviously, they're up, so if they
coin toss
go first, that's fine. The coin toss is a good idea. Let's see if we get some.
That's just like straight 50-50.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
And they can pick it if they want.
I've got a special coin
for who picks first.
Like the Super Bowl.
From that point, you have the 4 picks available between the spread and the total. It says you guys pick
first? You guys pick first.
All right,
that is the confidence.
We'll talk about it. There's a little conflict with the pick.
A little conflict
with you guys right now.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. Since we're not spoiling any surprises, since
it's
we
2
have
teams.
The first pick. I'm saying so it's up to us. But basically, as I've been saying since the championship weekend, I'm all in on the Chiefs, and I know Tony likes the Niners, so we'll have to sort that one out. But
I know it's tough, dude. I mean, obviously, at that point, I would let you take your pick that point if that's what it
All
comes
He
down
right.
says,
to.
"I already know what
know?
you're picking."
But
Yeah, I mean, it's
is-
obvious.
But I think it is interesting though, because I do think I don't know if Kev will admit it, or Josh would admit it.
Do we have
but
the
I don't
line?
know if Kev will admit it. It
Where's
was
the final
1.5.
line?
That's what I heard last on the radio. Mad Dog was talking about it, but
How does he feel about it? 1.5 it is.
The Chiefs. Just kind of saying like, how do you go against Mahomes? He looked foolish last time out, against the Ravens picking against them. This and that. But I do think if they were picking first, they would pick the Chiefs.
Oh yeah.
But the devil's advocate here, maybe Kev's saying that because he likes the Niners and he knows that I'm gonna take the Chiefs. Could be.
Yeah, I could see him doing
And then
that
they have
too.
the better pick of the total. So we'll have to wait and find out.
Damn,
about
Kev.
that. And then Josh B confirms the 1.5 right
1.5
now.
confirmed.
So a lot to talk about here.
Right.
The first thing I wanted to mention, and by the way, actually let me get the official
Phoenix Open?
starting time. But I
9:20.
believe- Okay, 9:20
For
is
what?
the first tee time.
First tee time.
Okay, so Waste Management.
Waste
is gonna get
Management.
underway.
I
we'll
really
get-
don't like that name.
There should be a banner in there, right there. Yes.
So the two groups going off.
I'm
at
not a big fan of it
9:20,
either.
Off the front,
Reminds me of someone.
Martin Lard, David Lipsky, and Carl Wan, and then off the back nine, Nate Lashley, Kevin Yu, and Tyson Alexander. And as the tee times go on, we do have some pretty solid groups. You got a star-studded group at 9:53: Brian Harmon, Max Homa, and Jordan Spieth. And then you also have a Matt Fitzpatrick, Sanjay Im, and Shane Lowry, 10:15, as well as Sahith Theegala, Adam Svensson, Brennan Todd at 10:26, and more groups as the day goes on. But big news came out last night, and not regarding this tournament, but next week's Genesis Invitational. Tiger Woods is going to make his first official start of the 2024 PGA Tour season. He played this event last year and ended up tying for 45th and had, some good rounds. He might have finished with a birdie and ultimately, then played the Masters, but had to withdraw after making the cut, the tough weather conditions. And kind of like we spoke to yesterday, his plan is to, try to play more regularly, which is about once a month. So they're suggesting,
Go sit down.
that it's going to be, obviously the Genesis next week, then the Players in March, and then of course the Masters in April. And I would imagine
Looks like a fool.
all of the major championships.
Stay there.
But it really, he hosts this tournament, and that's the tournament, ironically, that he was hosting when he had gotten into the car accident. So it was a good story last year. He makes it back to play, and he's going to be back there again. But really, we all know any tournament is better off with Tiger Woods in the field.
Way better.
No, yeah, I totally agree, dude.
I don't think there is a field without him.
Where do you think he's going to be? at the
I
end
mean,
of
I
the
think
tournament here?
he'll improve upon last time.
Right.
You look at what he's done recently. I think he was tied for 18th out of 20 in the Hero World Challenge. But the fact that he played the 4 days, was big. This one, the same thing. He played the 4 days last year. But I'll be conservative. He was tied 45th last year. I'm going to say give him 30, and I think that's pretty good, to be honest. I think that is really good. And it's nice to elevate an event, Tony. But this is one of the ones where there is a cut. So nice to see that.
Oh, good.
I'm
Right.
confident.
I
he'll
need
make
that.
cut.
Right.
What are your thoughts? I mean, obviously we'll talk more about it next week, but just off the rip right now, what are you thinking?
I mean, I think top 30 is a good guess for him. I don't know. I'd like to think he breaks top 25.
Hey, I mean that's.
But we'll
pretty
see.
good.
I mean, and we know, I'm sure that the coverage of him throughout the tournament will be pretty extensive too. So
yeah.
I'd like to see, I want to look at, see how he is. Dude.
I mean, it really
See how he's
seems like
feeling.
this is a critical point for the rest of his golf career. Like,
Oh, yeah.
It seems like things can really start, turning in that positive direction if he puts together a couple of good performances. And it's nice. This course is mostly flat, and then also TPC Sawgrass is a
Right.
very flat course. So you would think that would bode well for all the walking they'll have to do over the course of 4 days,
Mhm.
provided he makes the cut.
Yeah. Hopefully, that does help him out, and he is gonna make the cut.
And what do we think about Kev Deuce coming here? He's just like having a good time.
They're calling you a Swiftie.
But I mean, I think he knows. I think he's enjoying the back and forth we've been having because I said that he's not the risen messiah with the picks.
Risen
he had
messiah,
a lucky
dude.
season. But he deserves credit. But that doesn't mean that I'm not coming.
No, yeah, I think you're right. And obviously, we know Brian doesn't really like Taylor Swift, so
At
yeah,
all.
exactly.
Like,
And
at all,
I mean, I think all you guys can admit, that it's like for people not to hate the Chiefs because of that is kind of ridiculous. Like think about, I mean, what's the roster? 49 guys on game day or whatever it is. It's like
50 with Taylor Swift.
But I'm saying just because one player's girlfriend, we're just going to hate the team and just like completely disregard Patrick Holmes, even though he's one of the best quarterbacks of all time. I mean, it's just, I don't know.
Tony will.
I feel like it is
No.
little ridiculous.
For me, guys, you so misconstrue everything I say all the time,
you say it.
dude. I'm just rooting for the Niners, not rooting necessarily against the Chiefs.
Yeah, it's because every time we bring up the Chiefs, it gets you.
Yeah,
you're angry. You start talking about Jackson Mahomes. You start talking about Brittany Mahomes.
First of all, then stop it. I haven't.
You love her.
I have not talked
You
about them
love
in
Brittany.
so long. I haven't.
But I also feel like, they can't be annoying you that much. They've been off really the
because of Taylor.
For the most part. I mean, sure, you see like Brittany dancing with Taylor a little bit, whatever. But it's just like, I just think look at it as a game.
Dude,
who cares about the fans?
I haven't mentioned them in a long time because I don't care about them. I don't care about the brother that much. I don't care about the sister. At the time, what the brother did was kind of messed up. What the wife is doing is, I mean, she's annoying sometimes. Obviously.
How do you feel about her and Taylor being best friends?
I don't know if it's true or not, so I have no opinion about it, to be honest. I mean, if I were her, I would try to be best friends with Taylor Swift because you never know. I mean, what does she bring to the table, honestly? Especially when you think about like, the pool of people there at that point.
Right.
She's like the least important one, I guess you could say. But I mean, it is, I guess, a nice story. What, they're high school sweethearts, right? Like him and Mahomes, like that's nice. It's lovely. But at the end of the day, she doesn't seem like a great person. I don't know if she's genuine. I don't even know her, dude. But from what I see her, just on the face value here, it's not good.
Yeah, and I think the whole thing, like,
and then we know the brother's a dirtbag.
With
he really, dude, he really talk about
he's a bad person.
But it's nice that they don't really show him on camera.
They've learned.
Yeah, not anymore.
Yeah.
Well, because he's not a celebrity like that.
You know what happened to him at the bar, right?
Yeah, he was getting into some.
What happened? He was accused of harassing this girl.
Yeah.
Oh no, he did.
Like forcing. He did. No, he did do it. Yeah, he was accused and did. And he was supposed to be on that quarterback show like heavily, and they cut him out a lot, significantly cut him out of it. You see him like twice.
And I know,
talking about his brother and stuff.
Yeah.
Got it.
The Netflix show quarterback, which was they're doing it with the NBA, I think. Were you telling me that?
Oh, they are.
No,
they are.
So, or maybe Manny was telling me that they're doing it again with the NBA.
I saw that.
I forget who it is.
It's a couple. I think LeBron's even in it.
LeBron, it is LeBron, and there's like
Tatum, even I think,
and then a couple other
Michael
like, lower guys. Yeah.
Let's catch up on the comments.
Sorry.
Yeah, let's go, baby.
So we've got. Oh, obviously, Josh B. loved that Taylor Swift
He's
comment.
so funny. The button pushing.
Oh, yeah. The button pushing. Raul saying, hola, amigos.
What's up, Raul?
I love it, guys. You make my mornings fun when I can listen. I'm off today from work. That's awesome. Kev Deuce, all love. Raul.
Kev Deuce off today? You deserve it, man.
He does. So does Josh B. Josh B. deserves a month
Josh B's off today?
No. He's not.
But he's off on the 18th.
He is.
Yes, let's go, dude.
We are going to have fun.
He's not really off, though, because he's got to be on for the 18th.
Raul is a huge 49ers fan. It's plastered all over his X account. I don't know if you guys have seen him.
Oh, let's go, Raul. Let's go, dude.
He's on there. He says, let's go 49ers. We the best. Kev, do Tony is tight because how many times Brian threw to Kelsey and Madden.
It's kind of ridiculous, honestly. I mean, like, you can't even do anything. Yeah, of course.
I'm so sick of hearing Taylor Swift's name of the NFL. Has the NFL become so irrelevant that it has to start bringing in this?
But I think it's one of those things where it's the true football fan like that doesn't even like kind of register that that's even going on. You're just watching the game,
and it
it's
quickly
all those
pops
losers who watch the game just to see her. It's like, well, you're not really a football fan. You don't know what you're talking about, so I don't really care about you.
Yeah, and I think that's the part of the problem too, because that's what you hear most people talk about too.
I know,
like you're just in passing. Oh, Taylor Swift that, Taylor Swift that.
Yeah,
it's really.
It's like, dude, like,
but I feel like if you're really bringing up Taylor Swift, like in like we're like talking about the game, like I feel like that I just don't take you seriously.
No, yeah,
It's
I mean,
like,
you're
why are you
not,
even bringing this up?
unless it's, unless something had happened that was crazy that she
Yeah.
did or whatever.
Like she fell out of the
But
box.
if you're still like talking about it at this point, like you clearly just don't follow football that much,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll continue.
It's like when you talk about like,
Michael does not like the Tatum in the documentary, obviously.
oh no, he does not.
My favorite thing is talking smack about Tatum with you guys. The Knowlton come in. It's great for the franchise because it's possibly opened up interest for all of her fans.
That's got to be Renee. Was that Renee?
It might be Sharon.
Oh, that was Sharon.
Oh,
Great for the franchise.
the business side. He
Yeah,
said.
I mean, obviously,
It's true.
she's
They've made
incredibly
so
popular.
much money since she's. I
Um,
forgot the numbers. It's in the hundreds of
Well,
millions.
ticket sales are up.
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah.
Travis Kelce too.
Um,
Just himself, he made so much money from it.
I know.
oh my God, yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Forget
so
about it, dude.
it's interesting because just as a player, he's always been so exciting to watch all the plays that he makes on the field. But I guess because I'm kind of getting the feeling, especially if they win, that he'll retire.
I don't know, dude.
We've
I think
talked
there's
about
one
that.
more.
No,
But I just think there's something because of the relationship with her, because his brother wants to retire, because they have
But
a
his brother isn't
podcast.
going to. I thought.
No, but I think he just said that because they want to retire together on their podcast.
But see, my flip side is I think they're going to play together
flip side.
one more year.
Travis Kelce's coming to Philly.
Wait, together?
Could be. Yeah, I think they're going to play 1 year together. They played their whole lives together, college.
Right.
I think they want to end it together.
So you think if the Chiefs
Win or lose.
win or lose,
Win or
he's still
lose.
leaving?
I don't know
He's gonna leave the
whether
Chiefs. Oh.
he's Jason's coming to the Chiefs or Travis is going to the Philly.
I mean, I could tell you, Travis is not going to Philly. Maybe Jason would come to the Chiefs.
That's what I'm saying. 1 year. They
but-
both sign a 1 year final year together. The podcast blows up in the year. The Taylor, the this, the that. It's a big money grab for the both. And sorry to cut you off. Last thing, Jason's wife is even saying, he's got one, less than a year left to play. Basically, I'm gonna soak in all this stardom while I can. She's starting to do some modeling stuff and this and that.
Modeling.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I should do some
I
modeling.
think
You should.
The Swift, nonsense aside, both guys clearly have a lot of football left. So just from that perspective, I would like to see, both of them play. It's just the sideshow. It's different, but I think truly Travis Kelce, where he's a starting upper echelon tight end, has probably 3 years. So I just think, you only have that opportunity once, unless like your injuries are really nagging you. You would think you'd want to take advantage of that.
Yeah, it doesn't really seem like he gets injured. Has he ever been like
So he
badly injured?
He missed the opener. That was the first injury.
Right, but that
game
was
he
like
missed
a
with injury since 2013.
knee hyperextension or ankle? It was something small.
I think it might have been knee. Yeah.
But has he ever had a major injury in his career? Do you know?
I
don't think so,
I
right?
don't believe so. No.
That's kind of crazy. I mean, good for him for
Yeah.
being that active, physical tight end with no injuries. I mean, again, you look at someone like Gronk, who obviously is in the in the discussion for one
I
of the
think he's
greatest
the
tight
best.
ends.
Yeah.
I think he's better all around. Maybe I don't know. I don't have to really
No,
take
you
a
got to
deeper
watch
dive.
just the highlights.
But I feel like
that's all you got to do. You can just tell by the tape. I don't need
just
stats.
watch the highlights.
I don't need tape.
don't look at the stats. Don't
I don't-
watch every
Barnes.
game. Don't watch the best and
Yards
the worst.
after
Just
carry.
watch the best.
Oh,
Gronk.
yards after catch.
Catch.
Yeah.
Gronk,
You
dude.
don't even know what you're talking about.
Stop. I know everything.
Yeah. No,
I
it's-
think Kelce
and
could
then
be a better
also,
route runner. He's got to
like,
have.
as
and he's-
painful as it was to watch Gronk
Was
from
amazing.
Brady to Gronk in the red zone. I think he had a perfect passer rating. It was like insane.
That is
And
pretty
that's
crazy.
Gronk. That's a lot of Gronk.
Yeah, but
there.
now what? Didn't
They did surpass
Kelsey and
touchdowns
Mahomes just
duo, I
surpassed
think.
them in
the
Yeah,
playoffs,
postseason
playoffs,
touchdowns?
yeah.
Yeah, that's true. But like I said, I don't look at those stats.
Yeah, you look at the stats that just favor your opinion.
No, I just look at tape. I'm not like one of these stat nerds out here.
Whoa, whoa.
I look at the play on the field,
The eye test.
the eye test. I'm not one of these analytical guys, dude. Are you hot? You're staying in the game. You're closing the game.
I'm a little comfortable.
You're not going 5 innings. You're going 7.5 if you're hot. I'm feeling it.
Right.
I'm one of those, Tony. I know
And
you've
it's
lost your way, but
interesting
I'll get you back,
and
baby.
I-
I'll
You're
get you
honestly
back,
so
baby.
embarrassing. Eye test has gotten you nowhere. Look at you.
And I feel like too that I'm a little bit on an island on this,
Yeah,
and
me
I
too.
guess I'd have to go through the numbers. Maybe I would say Tyreek Hill, but I thought all year that Lamar is as hot as everybody is on him. I don't think statistically and what I saw as a passer this year it was an MVP season. I think those passing numbers are
No.
from like 2003. I think it's kind of a
Right.
travesty that he's going to end up winning the MVP.
Wait,
And we saw
Lamar?
what he did. Yeah, and we saw what he did, in the championship game. And I know that doesn't count. They vote before, we get it. But I just think, the numbers just weren't that great. I can't remember the last time somebody won MVP as a quarterback and didn't throw over 4,000 yards. These days, all the top guys throw for 4,000.
He only has 3,600. Does have one of the better quarterback ratings though in the league. He's 4th in the league in quarterback rating. 7 interceptions. Not obviously.
What, only 24 touchdowns?
24 touchdowns. That's not even breaking top 10.
Someone won the MVP and didn't throw 30 touchdowns.
I don't know.
Well, what about all of his rushing stats? He's a
but
dual threat
rushing
quarterback.
Stats, though,
that's the whole thing about Lamar.
A lot better, though. You know what I mean? It's like, what did he have? 700-800 yards rushing.
821.
Multiple 1,000-yard seasons. He didn't have double-digit rushing touchdowns. I just don't think it was enough. Honestly, I think Tua was more worthy. And honestly, now that I look at this, I'm going to say I think Christian McCaffrey should win the MVP. He won't, but he deserves to win the MVP. Over 2,000 yards from scrimmage, over 20 touchdowns.
Yeah, when did Lamar win the MVP, though? He won before, did he not?
2 years ago.
2019.
2019.
3 years ago.
So it's 5 years ago.
5 years ago, yeah.
And again, look
irrelevant.
Look at his stats there. In 2019, he had 3,100 passing yards and a little over 1,200 rushing yards.
And what did he have? 12 more passing touchdowns that year?
Let's see, touchdowns. He had 36 passing touchdowns versus 24. So and then he had 7 rushing touchdowns in 2019. He only has 5 this season. So his numbers back then, obviously, the year he won MVP, obviously going to be great, but they're significantly better. So I don't know. But you never know. Obviously they're talking about him being MVP just because I think it's just more of like a recency bias in the sense where they've seen him do really well and exponentially better than the past few seasons. I think that's what that is. I think that's why people look at it, but you never know how they're going to vote. I don't think it's.
I think McCaffrey should win for sure.
Yeah, McCaffrey.
But I'm saying I don't think people are like it's a lock that Lamar is getting it. They're talking about it.
It is.
No, yeah, I think it's a.
I don't
Really?
have it in front of me, but I guarantee Vegas. He's probably 2-1 favorite at least.
Come on, really?
Yeah.
I guess when you also think about it, I guess you look at the year too. Look at this year, especially for quarterbacks too. Not a lot, I guess. A lot of quarterbacks got injured.
Yeah.
A lot of quarterbacks obviously didn't do as well. Look at Patrick Mahomes, for example. Although he had a great season, it's still not as good as what you've seen in the past.
Yeah.
So you got to take that into account too.
Yeah, I just think it's like,
we'll see.
if it needs to be the best quarterback of the year award, make a separate award, but it's supposed to be the MVP. And Christian McCaffrey, 1459 on the ground, 5.4 yards per carry, 14 rushing touchdowns, and he also had 67 receptions for 564 yards and 7 touchdowns. So 21 total touchdowns.
The touchdowns are going to kill him.
Over 2,000 yards from scrimmage.
I know.
But it's also like, you have to look at the award too. It's most valuable player.
Yeah, but without him, that team's not doing anything.
He's the first running back we've seen in
the last 10
years to get paid the contract and have it actually be worth it. He's the only guy.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm saying because I feel like I'm pretty sure I want to say last season, the Michael K show had this conversation, and Dodd made a good point where it is MVP. It's not best player. It's like, who are you the most valuable player?
I think he is
to your team. Which I don't know. But look at the Niners.
If they don't have him, they're not the same team.
Obviously, obviously they're not the same team, but they're still going to be really good and competitive. If the Ravens if the Ravens did not have Lamar Jackson this season,
they'd be the same.
No, they would not be the same.
Be the same.
They would not.
If you had another stud quarterback, you'd be the same, even better, maybe. That could throw better.
I think
a better passer, they'd be in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be throwing off people's helmets to catch it for yards. That's crazy.
I think that
if
first
Patrick
of all,
Mahomes was the quarterback there, they would be undefeated.
Undefeated.
Going for an undefeated.
Undefeated.
100%.
100.
Lamar misses easy throws.
What are you
he
talking
doesn't
about
stand
right
in
now?
the pocket. He's just not a pocket passer. He's just not. I don't
not
know.
at all.
And it's like, I would love for somebody to point to me, somebody who's played like him that's won the Super Bowl. And the thing is, there isn't one. Like, that's the thing.
I guess. I don't know. I have to go back.
No.
Michael Vick won a couple, right?
Oh, yeah.
Vince Young?
Cam Newton?
I honestly, I don't even know what to say to that, dude. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Even Cam Newton, who I think, honestly, too, he's talking a lot of smack.
Dude,
now. It's like,
it's
bro,
so
you
annoying.
had like one good year. Even he was a lot better passer than Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
If you look at it, he had a couple of years, especially his rookie year. I think he threw for over 4,000 yards as a rookie.
That's pretty impressive.
I think he broke the record.
Wow.
What else we got here?
Yeah, let's go. So I forgot about George Kittle. I love George Kittle.
George Kittle is unbelievable.
Amazing.
And he could have as many yards as he gets as targets. That's the whole thing.
Exactly. Let's be real. I'm not being biased, but George Kittle as a blocking tight end as well as a receiving tight end, one of the best hands down. Josh B follows that up with you're being biased.
I mean, obviously he's being biased, but I can see where he's coming from. I feel like Kittle gets a little bit underrated.
Underlooked.
Because overlooked. Underrated. Just because of the, obviously the two bigger names, especially since Gronk is still on TV now, and then obviously you get Kelsey. I mean, I guess the fact too that the Niners are on the West Coast, so we don't get as much exposure to them.
Kelsey's someone I wouldn't hang out with,
but are you talking right now?
George Kittle is someone I would. So anyway,
Michael Theophil is someone I wouldn't hang out with, but Michael Domack is someone I would.
Oh, Brian,
Can you put the ticker on, dude?
What ticker?
The ticker.
Why?
I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to.
I know. So anyway, yeah, see, that's ridiculous. Look at Brock Purdy in his first year, over 4,000 yards. On top, I think we ruined his game with touchdowns record. It was weird. Bukta Barnes, I would need you as my personal bodyguard at Lakers Celtics game because I would be so out of control and would be taking poop ton of trash about talking a lot of trash about Tatum. If the Niners didn't have Brock Purdy, just saying, Lamar equals athletic ball thrower.
And what do you think he means by if the Niners
didn't have Brock Purdy? Like you're saying, so he's like disagreeing with you guys in the sense where if McCaffrey wasn't there, it'd be entirely different.
I don't know, but
I mean, obviously, you can't argue that it's not going to be different without any of those players at all. But again, I think if the Niners did not have McCaffrey, they're still going to be a really good team.
Question for everybody here: if you needed to win a Super Bowl game, would you rather have Purdy or Lamar Jackson?
Lamar Jackson.
On what team though? Like, am I going to get Lamar Jackson with this Ravens team, or am I getting Brock Purdy with that Niners team? Like, what are we?
Both going to have the same team around them.
Around them,
yeah.
And let's say, for the sake of argument, it's the Niners team.
Yeah.
I'd rather have Lamar.
You'd rather have, what about you, Michael?
I'm going Purdy.
Yeah. I mean, he's passed a lot of tests, and every game in the postseason that he's started and finished, he's won. Obviously, all good things have to come to an end, but I mean, he's been impressive.
That's Brian's mindset in life.
Yeah, it's like, I'm going to pick Brock, he's like, he's going to lose anyway, dude.
Just like, gosh.
But I mean, I don't know, dude. I mean, I don't know. I think, I don't know. It's tough because, I mean, I don't know. I think Lamar is now at least from you, it seems like you're just a Lamar hater, honestly.
No, I like Lamar.
Hold on a second, Michael. I just think he's getting a little bit of a bad rap here when in reality, I mean, you could have found a million different things wrong with the Ravens and why they lost to end their season there. I mean, obviously, like Lamar's interception, obviously being one of them, but nonetheless, I mean, they made a million different mistakes. They had a terrible coaching plan coming into that game. You could even argue they were set up for failure. And then at the end of the day, even that interception, I mean, that was obviously a mistake, but I mean, at that point, Lamar is being forced into trying to make something happen out of nothing, just because of the way that game was going.
Their halftime adjustments were pretty terrible.
Halftime adjustments were terrible. Their strategy, like I said, going in, we talked about it all the time. They barely ran the ball when they were like one of the most successful running teams in the league. And then on top of that, they were getting stupid penalties. I feel like half the team was like they came in that game with a bad attitude. I don't even know what happened. But they were chirping. They were getting stupid penalties that were adding 15 yards at the end of plays.
Yeah.
And then obviously, it was Flowers, right, with the fumble at the goal line. I mean, that was just like ridiculous.
I think the whole thing is, yes, Flowers, that was brutal. Also, I do think that when it comes down to it, though, in the playoffs, if you look at it, more times than not, he's had opportunities and he hasn't got the job done. And you go back to the year he won MVP, same thing.
Hasn't he been like injured most of the playoffs?
It was the last 2 years, but he had, I had it in front of me.
It was either ankle injury. I know he had some shoulder issue too before, but I feel like anytime he was in the playoffs, there's always something like, something wrong with his legs where he's not going to be as mobile and not going to be as effective.
So,
well, I mean, don't get injured.
Yeah,
thank you, Michael.
Like, what do you want?
Yeah.
So, just to give you
I'm just saying that.
I'm just saying,
dude. But just give you perspective.
I'm prospecting.
6 playoff games he's played, he's 2-4.
Mm-hmm.
His completion percentage is 57%. He's averaged 220 yards a game, and he has 6 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. I mean, sometimes you have to go by the numbers, and it's
Michael's not a stat guy though.
No, but dude, anytime a quarterback in a divisional championship game throws the ball off someone's head and then catches it, it's over. That's not a good. I mean, I've never. That's not a good look. Like, I don't see other quarterbacks doing that can make a pass.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Eli Manning's done that before.
He
definitely has thrown a ball at his offensive line.
He's never caught it and stuff.
There's been some crazy plays.
Kind of, you made me think about that with Eli Manning. So before we move on here, just kind of curious, and we could go around the room. If everybody could give me their most memorable Super Bowl that they watched.
Most memorable. I mean, for me, it was probably Pat's Falcons.
Yeah, wow. Yeah. That was crazy.
Just because of the scenario.
I didn't know you were a big Brady guy.
No,
he's a huge Falcons guy.
But one of my close friends, Andy, huge Patriots fan, like huge.
Okay.
I guess maybe Pat's Seahawks too. Again, I mean, you just asked me most memorable. Like, this is what I remember the most.
Literally just named two of my least favorite Super Bowls.
You didn't say favorite. You said memorable.
No, I know,
guy.
but I wouldn't pick,
like ones you remember the most.
I'm just saying though, I wouldn't pick that.
Me either.
Just saying. But go ahead.
Yeah, but what Super Bowl do you remember the most?
Don't worry.
I'm going to give him my answer at the end.
Yeah, he will.
The one I remember the most is the Pats Falcons game. Okay.
Why?
Because it was such obviously tremendous comeback. 28-3, third quarter, whatever. We were watching it in Reds, the bar at Sacred Heart. I actually went to a Ranger game that day because I didn't really give a shit about the Super Bowl at the time. And it was dope because I got to go to the Ranger game. It was a noon game on Sunday. Got to Reds in time. I don't know. It was like 6:30. Literally, kickoff happened. Had $5 bucket of Coronas and wings, and we had the whole place to ourselves. It was a bunch of Jay, Reese, all the guys. And it was obviously a great game too. So it was cool.
What would you say, Domek?
Eagles, Patriots. Because as an Eagles fan. Watching, and most importantly, the strip sack to win the game. Was
that was epic.
The coolest thing I think I've ever seen in my life.
No, that was so sweet.
That was cool.
Like, I was losing my mind because I was looking at my dad and we were like, it's over. Brady's got the ball. He's got more than enough time. Like, it's over.
Everyone thought.
And then the strip sack, and I literally lost my mind. Like, I ran around the room probably 5 different times.
That's awesome.
My mind. What would you say, Michael?
For me, it's crazy because anytime I think of the Super Bowl, I think of the first one I saw, and it was the Titans versus
the Rams.
The Rams in the 1 yard line.
Dyson.
I remember just being so little and like seeing that happen and everyone freaking out. And now looking back, McNair didn't win one. Eddie George didn't get one. And you see those teams. Those are crazy teams. But also I would say, that whole Giants Super Bowl run where then they beat the Patriots. I mean, I never in my life at that time too, because I'm a different sports fan at that time than I am now. Like, I'd say more intense then.
You think you're better? Better that back then.
Better then, yeah. You're not rooting for opposition teams or whatever, but you're not rooting for the Giants and stuff. But it was just crazy in that moment. You're rooting for the Giants,
right?
And they pull it off, dude. I couldn't believe it. Like, I could not. Like you said, Tom Brady. It's another one of those. It's over.
Yeah.
They're undefeated. Randy Moss.
Yeah.
Eli Manning.
Yeah. And it's so interesting that you say that because actually a couple of those I was going to say. I would say, honestly, easily in my top 3 are the 2 Giant victories.
Yeah.
The Eagles game was insane.
It really was.
But if I had to do something outside of that, I would do the Ravens 49ers Super Bowl because we were at Eastern, me and Matt. We went to this.
I didn't realize you're a Niners fan.
So we went to the house party for the first half. It was kind of beat, and we went back to the dorm. Second half, the whole lights out situation at the game, and it was just. I don't know. For some reason, we always reference that it was just for whatever reason, like just in the room.
So ridiculous.
It was just a dope time and a really exciting ending. Coming down, to the last throw there to when Kaepernick tried to hit Crabtree in the corner of the end zone, and that was it. I thought that was really exciting, and it's interesting. The Ravens last time they won a Super Bowl had a pocket passing quarterback, so just something to think about, Tony.
Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
All All right, where is he now?
Dude, he just almost brought the Browns to the glory land.
Stop it, dude. Stop it.
And that run was unbelievable too, because going into the year, I honestly, full transparency, I was like, Flacco.
Yeah.
He's not any good. And like really, he was kind of mediocre, almost reminds you of Manning a little bit for most of his career. But those playoffs, he made every single throw.
Yeah,
literally.
Crazy. Yeah.
And also Anquan Boldin was getting a little older. You kind of thought he was
that was sick.
He was unbelievable.
That was sick.
Yeah.
I loved him in Arizona with Larry Fitzgerald and Kurt Warner for that last run.
And speaking of Kurt Warner, the Super Bowl between the Cardinals and the Steelers was also up there on the list. Fitzgerald in the corner of the end zone.
Yeah.
Not that much time left.
That was a good game.
That was also John Madden and Al Michaels' final game broadcasting together too, which is pretty cool.
That is very cool. So if you had to pick one, by the way, Brian, because you just named like 7.
Honestly, the Eagles won, because I just didn't think they had a chance because they're starting a backup quarterback. And I don't know if we'll ever see that again. Like especially like to win the MVP and throw for, what did he throw for, 400 yards?
I know, kind of ridiculous.
And he caught a touchdown for Philly special, dude. Come on.
That play at the half, like I was just so jacked up, because you think about where you were at that point. You know, the Patriots had 5 titles with Brady, so it's like, oh my God, please not another title, and especially the year before having to go through the whole thing with the Falcons. It was unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
I know, they came freaking back.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. I really didn't think that would happen.
That's so annoying.
Crazy,
and then one thing, you know, kind of circling back here, it is kind of interesting that the play caller for the Falcons that day, Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah.
So kind of interesting, you know. And then he also happened to be at the helm, 10-point lead, fourth quarter. This matchup 5 years ago
could be the same result.
I don't know. I mean, what's your thoughts? I mean, you really think it's just a coincidence that he was the play caller for those 2 games? Or no?
A coincidence?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you want to call it a coincidence, I mean, that was his job at the time. So
are you saying that Patrick Mahomes was down 10 in the fourth quarter, like we talked about on Sunday, and they came back and won?
Yeah.
And then we were saying how, like, he would need to be down 10, and we still thought that maybe he had a chance, and you thought we were crazy, even though he did it, 4 years ago.
Anytime in a one possession game.
Even though he did it as in, wait, what do you mean he
Patrick
did it? Mahomes did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the same thing you guys are talking about. I mean, I feel like with any Super Bowl, like, you think, oh wow, Tom Brady at this point it's over, but it wasn't. So I mean, like anything could happen. Yeah, sure.
Renee,
I guess.
Yeah. Dude.
But yeah, so I'm so pumped.
Yeah, me too, dude. Gonna be a great day.
Yeah.
In case you guys didn't know, Brian's house for Super Bowl.
Legendary.
Brian
menu.
Can't wait.
Brian's gonna put his address in the Discord. Anyone and everyone is welcome.
I was just going over with Tony Michael before you got here.
Oh,
like,
the
what
food.
we're thinking food-wise.
Tell me.
So the Archies again.
Yes.
The Remos catering trays again. Probably the Marsala and the Penny Vodka. And then a new addition, Garden Catering nuggets and fries. And then also yesterday I picked up Pigs in the Blanket. And
Pigs in the Blanket, dude.
Stop.
Yeah. And then the nacho dip. All right. So
I'm so pumped.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things about the Super Bowl is just hanging, sitting, like doing all that stuff and not having to worry about it.
Yeah.
That's it.
And
I can't
the fact
wait,
too,
dude.
on top of it, I mean, of course it's typically a pretty good matchup, but I feel like this is, one of the best matchups we've had in recent years.
Yeah, I would say so. So I was just reading some of these comments here. I was trying to see Raul just hammering, dude.
Yeah. What do we got?
He's saying, but there you have it. You take away Lamar Jackson's legs, seems to be a non-factor. I mean, yeah, obviously. The guy's a running quarterback. He goes, imagine a Tom Brady with Lamar's legs. Well, I mean, that's like an all-around great quarterback there, which is actually pretty interesting because I don't know. I feel like the past couple games, we've been seeing at least the past one game. Actually, I guess I pay attention to Brock Purdy has been using his legs a lot. Has been shown to be very effective because of that. Baltimore Niners, Raul says, with the power going out, who could forget that? Kind of ridiculous. That's, I don't know about history, but I want to say it's never happened before.
Yeah.
And like that, I mean, talk about like a major screw up.
Someone got screwed after that game,
dude. Like that, and it like they say. I mean, obviously, like maybe it would have happened anyway, but change the momentum of the game. Because it delayed the game by like 40 minutes.
I know.
That was such a crazy time.
It was.
Raul says on top of the coaching brothers of the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true. And I believe I think they said, right, the Chargers play the Ravens next year, so they'll be coaching against each other.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's obviously, you know, that's a very interesting storyline going into next season. And honestly, even how you know, the Ravens are going to respond after this season too is interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting because it's like, what, you know, your defense was great. You led the league in rushing.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to get rid of Lamar as much as I'm disparaging him. So what do you do?
You have to run it back again. I mean, like you said, like there really isn't a quarterback you're going to get that's going to replace Lamar and make your team better. I think at this point, you know, even if it is like a high talented quarterback. Dude, are you hearing what some of the coaches or what some of the people are saying about Zach Wilson?
What, he's unlimited?
No, that like he's a waste of time. Don't take a chance on him.
Unlimited. Yeah, he's like worth like maybe
they're talking like a
fourth round pick.
Or
something like
that.
Yeah. No, like third day.
Seventh round.
Sorry, third day, like a third day pick.
Yeah. Brutal. So like you got to keep Lamar. You got to you know, keeping your running backs, keeping your defense.
Do you think it would make? I know they led the league in rushing, but I'm just thinking about this. Like, what if they signed Saquon? You think it would make a difference?
I think it could help. I mean, you have Edwards. Who's that guy? Hill, right? Too.
No, but I feel like
he was making a little bit of a splash.
A little bit of a splash, but I think it's like, okay, if he wasn't on the team next year, it's not a big deal.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess so.
Saquon,
but I mean, if you go out and get Saquon, is he going to be healthy? He's going to give you the amount of carries you want.
Like you can keep him fresh versus what he's had to do with the Giants. The Giants like do everything. If he's healthy, he's getting 300 carries. The Ravens, you can give him 200, maybe even less. So really,
I guess. I mean, it may be worth it. I think it may be worth it to go out and get another receiver, maybe another tight end. We have Isaiah Likely, dudes.
No, I think they're good at tight end because they have Mark Andrews too.
Oh, I guess Mark Andrews too.
Receiver, because I don't know, but is the biggest thing though maybe Lamar like putting in extra work this offseason on the throwing? And that might be the biggest thing more than anything.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess so. Again, dude, I mean, it's just such like a perplexing like issue because of the way they just approached that last game against the Chiefs. I mean, they just kind of abandoned what their strategy was all season that worked so well for them, I feel. And I don't even know. I mean, maybe it is more so that like maybe Andy Reid just had an answer defensively and they needed to make an adjustment and couldn't. But I don't know. It just seemed like that they just didn't come in with the right game plan for the Chiefs. So I don't know. I mean, yeah. I mean, obviously work on Lamar and his throwing downfield, sure. Again, I mean, I feel like this past season he obviously worked on it. I mean, you can't doubt that. I mean, he's better this season. But yeah, I guess I don't know. I guess time will tell what he could do.
It'll be interesting.
You can definitely get better wideouts. I mean, I know Zay Flowers is good, but like I think we do better than Zay Flowers.
I think we can too.
I don't know.
Like who's the WR2 on that? Who's the wide receiver 2 on that team?
I guess.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
but the thing is, I don't think he's that bad. I think Lamar like didn't really find him that much, to be honest. I don't think he was like. It's not like he was dropping passes. Maybe you could argue he's not getting separation downfield, but
I mean, how many times are you gonna make that excuse for Odell? I think people said that same thing about Baker. Baker is just not finding him, you know?
But I kind of feel like though, and I mean, I know it was a while ago, but like you saw when he went to the Rams, he was like probably would have won Super Bowl MVP if he didn't tear his ACL. I mean, I know we're a couple years after that point. But
well, I mean, I don't know about that. I mean,
and it seemed like he didn't really drop passes this year.
No, yeah, exactly.
The ball was in his area, he caught it.
But, he made some great catches this year too.
And it's funny because it's like, what are you gonna go get AJ Brown? And it's like how he thinks he's pissed now. Like,
I would not get AJ Brown. I mean, again, I wouldn't bring in locker room trouble into Baltimore again with the way their mentality was against the Chiefs too. I mean, it just seemed like that they were already angry coming to that game.
Yeah,
like they seemed like tight about something.
Yeah.
Because you don't just give up those personal fouls all the time like that.
That was crazy.
Michael Buck.
So yeah, pumped to do a full preview on the game tomorrow. Make the picks. And before we move along here, just want to update everybody. The Phoenix Open is underway.
Let's go, baby.
We have 3 guys. Of course, very early here. But Kevin Yu, Joel Damon, Aaron Badley, all with birdies. So they're tied at 1 under. And we'll have some groups going off shortly, or groups that are on one but haven't completed. So some golfers coming up. My guy Ashke Bahadia teeing off at 9:53.
Shouldn't even bother.
And also at 53 is that group of Harman, Homa, and Jordan Spieth. And also Ricky Fowler has a 10:04 tee time. And then you got Fitzpatrick, Im, and Lowry at 10:15. Gary Woodland 10:37. And then I was just trying to see here when our guys were teeing off here. So let's see. So Scheffler is 2:33, so he has an afternoon tee time today, and I think he might even be playing with Justin Thomas.
Oh, really, dude? Let's go.
Justin Thomas. Okay, he's the group after, but so it'll be. It's good that they did that because coverage on Golf Channel starts at 3:00. So it would be good to see those guys full rounds. Definitely looking forward to that. But let's go now to the world of the National Hockey League.
Let's go, baby.
Speed, here he comes. McDavid shoots, top shelf, he scores! Captain with the overtime winner. That's the middle quick. It's a world-class hit right here. Tomsky stepping, rink wide. Made the full split save.
Are you kidding me?
Turn, side of the net, between the legs, and they score! Filthy! David Pastrnak, the silver trophy to the Golden Knights!
And who would have thought, right after the All-Star break, the three biggest stars of a Ranger win would be Jonathan Quick, Jimmy Vesey, and Brodzinski.
I know, it's kind of crazy.
The Rangers, an exciting game. You guys were watching it here last night. Me and Matt were watching it at home. 3-1 over Tampa. And, when we previewed this game yesterday, we were, both expecting Igor Shesterkin to get the start. But it's Jonathan Quick, almost flawless in net, 18-19. Obviously, the defense did a good job. You had a scoreless first period. So it seemed kind of one of those games that we've seen from the Rangers recently where offense isn't aplenty, but it just seems like defensively with Quick in net, there's a different mentality. And the way that Jimmy Vesey scored that first goal, we were talking about before the show, that was unbelievable. The backhand, the angle, didn't seem like it was possible. And then Johnny Brodzinski, who that was his 9th goal, I believe. His third goal actually, but that goal there at the end of the second period made it 2-0. And the Rangers, for the most part, were in cruise control the rest of the game. Hagel did have a goal 5.5 minutes into the
little
third.
nervous.
I was a little nervous, but I just feel this confidence with Jonathan Quick in net, the Connecticut native, Tony. I know that has to irk you a little bit.
Oh, definitely. It hurts him so much that if they win the Stanley Cup, it's because of someone from Connecticut.
And then Jimmy Vesey,
2 people actually,
with his second goal of the game, an empty netter to cap
schmuck.
it with a minute left.
Yeah.
But
the Rangers are full of Connecticut,
top to bottom, Tony. This was as impressive as it gets for the Rangers here.
No, yeah, you said it, dude. I just think looking at this game, of course, coming in here, Tampa Bay Lightning, a team that, has been a little bit on the downtrodden, I guess you could say. I mean, trying to go for a three-peat, a couple of years ago, obviously, I mean, you can't really top that.
Bitcoin over 45, Michael.
But certainly a team. No, yeah, Tony's talking. Let's just fucking chime in with random shit that doesn't do. But let's get to some comments. Let's talk about Adina Menzel for a little bit, maybe. Michael Buckta, dude, says Adina Menzel. I think he just talks. I don't know. I mean, I think Michael just watches stuff while he's watching us, and he's like, "Oh wow, Adina Menzel, she sucks, dude." We comment that on the show. I have nothing against Adina Menzel. I love
Gene
Adina
Hackman
Menzel.
right after.
Gene Hackman is legendary. I could only imagine when he's watching Gene Hackman and Adina Menzel. What could that be? Josh B. hyped for the Chell Frenzy today. But getting back to the Rangers game here, yes, we were watching it here during the gaming corner. Phenomenal job, Michael, with the idea here. It's just a freaking great game. Coming in here, we talked about what a big win this needed to be for the Rangers organization here at home.
A lot of gruesome stuff in that early part of the game.
Oh my God, dude!
Some injuries,
Mikhail Sergachev, dude,
was in my prayers last night.
You didn't pray for him last night.
I forgot his name, but I said, God,
I'm thinking of.
Was that a shoulder injury, or what did they say?
Ankle.
No, his ankle snapped in half, dude.
Snapped.
Literally, I brought up on Twitter on the gaming corner, and we watched it back in slow motion.
Dude, his skate gets stuck on the ice barns.
Yeah. So honestly, Alexis Lafreniere made a fucking stellar play because he's dumps the puck in, whatever, and he's up against the boards. And Sergachev, defenseman for the Lightning here, comes in to try and check Lafreniere on the boards, get the puck. And Lafreniere just, anticipates the hit and basically shoulders him to the ground. And as Sergachev is falling, his skate gets caught on the ice. And when that happens, especially when you're falling back, that momentum, there's nothing you could do really. And his ankle just gets caught underneath him, and you're looking at a significant, like a 90-degree angle.
Oh, geez.
And he was down, he was hurt. And you saw, obviously you don't, great play by Lafreniere with the body. It's unfortunate that it ends in an injury. No, it is. It was a great play by Lafreniere, phenomenal heads up play using his body too. And it is unfortunate that ends in an injury here. Lafreniere, you can even see his face, felt bad. Sergachev was in so much pain, dude. He got carted off. He was crying, dude.
I wasn't laughing about the injury. That's my bad. I was laughing at Brian because you could hear him sucking down the rest of his coffee at the.
Oh my god, dude!
Second one of the day.
So, but other than that, the game naturally was very physical. The Lightning, a great team. Rangers, obviously, a great team too. Both teams do play very physical. I want to say that the exchange of hits had to have been close to. Actually, I guess it wasn't that bad, but 34 hits total, 17 apiece. But you can tell that they were definitely. Matching each other's energy in terms of the physicality. And then on top of that, Lightning come in here. I think people, at least, maybe the casual hockey fan will forget that the Tampa Bay Lightning does kind of have the best player in the league right now, Nikita Kucherov, leading the league in points, assists, and goals, which is kind of outrageous. And then, of course, they have Steven Stamkos, Victor Hedman. I know Braden Point on the team, who hasn't been as good as you would want, especially considering last season. But nonetheless, they've been great. And Vasilevsky, has been having the same goaltending woes. I understand he has injury. Great job, Domak. But still, he has numbers that are, ironically, we saw him yesterday, pretty close to Shesterkin's,
right.
Who obviously didn't get the start. And again, that was another huge storyline coming in. Laviolette is, I don't know, I think one of the better coaches on the Rangers that we've seen in recent years.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Because again,
accountability
is huge. And obviously starting quick. You're putting someone who won the Vezina Trophy. You're putting him on the bench for a guy who's 35 years old. Of course, no doubt that Quick is going to be a Hall of Famer. But to have that confidence in yourself in Quick, that just shows a lot about what type of coach Laviolette is. Not to mention, he's not afraid to be switching up some of the lineups here. Look at the defensive pairings. The first defensive line out there is Ryan Lindgren out there with Adam Fox. That's something that's certainly new. He put Gustafsson back there with Braden Schneider. Gustafsson has not been performing as well, so he gets put back to the third defensive pairing. Gustafsson, he left the game undisclosed injury.
Gotcha.
But that's probably something that maybe day to day, who knows, maybe he's fine. But then again, at that point, I think that was early on too. That was right before the Mikhail Sergachev injury. The Rangers went down a defenseman too.
Who was that?
That was Brian. That's impressive too, to kind of anticipate, I guess, that type of injury, that loss, and to, for Laviolette to properly, even out the rest of the ice time for the rest of the defensive pairings here. That's just great coaching right there. And then on top of that, your players showed up to perform, no doubt. And I think a lot of it has to do with rallying behind Jonathan Quick.
They're rallying around him not playing.
They're rallying around Jonathan Quick being a great goaltender, dude.
Yeah, Connecticut.
He is from Connecticut. You went to college?
Yeah. UConn.
You really think that?
No.
Wouldn't be.
No, I don't know where he went to college, actually.
From Hamden, though.
I could see that, him staying local.
By the way, too, Tony, he's 38 years old.
38
No way.
years old. That is
Quick?
Unbelievable, dude.
Dude, good for him, dude.
Didn't go to college.
Oh, okay.
Right out of high school?
Right out of high school, went to some amateur team from Mass.
Yo,
It's
that's
crazy.
dope. Way to stick it.
And how about he was drafted in 05? The fact that he's still like hockey.
That's what I'm saying. Way to stick with it.
Dude, honestly, he's so good, dude.
That's why he's so nice
And
right
how
now.
about this year?
No, literally, he's a veteran player. He just knows
And
what
just
it
because he
takes.
knows this is the shot he's been waiting for.
The numbers 12, 4, and 2.
It's crazy. I'm a Rangers fan.
2.27 goals against.
Stop it.
9.919 save percentage, 2 shutouts, and if you are counting the overtime losses, regular losses, he's 2-1, 12-6 in terms of wins and losses when he starts. And I think it's
phenomenal.
It's tough to argue that. And you really have to, like you were saying, give Laviolette credit for going with him. And I was talking to Matt about this yesterday, and I know there's some Ranger fans that maybe think this is just premature, but I don't know. I just have this vision of him having this like legendary run the second half of the season and into the playoffs. And it's just like until I see something differently, I really don't want to see Igor more than I want to see Jonathan Quick.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Quick is hot right now. And again, I mentioned the team rallying behind him. I believe Molly Walker tweeted this out last night that the Rangers are 8-0-1 in games where their bottom 6 players score, and every one of those games Quick has started.
Yeah,
which is a pretty crazy stat, especially because it's the bottom 6, scoring. You mentioned coming out of this All-Star break to see Brodzinski and Jimmy Vesey score. Love Jimmy Vesey. I've been hot on him all season, waxing poetic about him. Harvard man. Obviously came to the Rangers, must have been 5 years ago, went to the Devils for a little bit. I think was on another team. I forget who.
Philly.
Found his way back. It wasn't the Flyers. But found his way back. I think he's a great third line player. And you talk about that goal, that tremendous angle, literally no angle at all on the backhand, fooled Vasilevsky. I mean, and that was the first goal of the game, dude. So that is a great goal to get your team going. And then Brodzinski too. We've been talking about us needing a third line center. Who was the third line center last night? Johnny Brodzinski.
Well, because he knows there's going to be a trade soon.
You never know. No, he probably knows that the spot's open and he wants to play hard.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So I should, I would do maybe some more research on Johnny Brodzinski, see if we want him at third line center for real. But obviously, I mean, he hasn't had a ton of points this season. I'm just looking at his stats. I want to say this is his first goal, probably in a pretty long time. Third goal of the year. 12 points so far in the season. Obviously has a lot to work towards if he does want to get that third line center position. He is 30 years old. He's been in the league, quite a little bit. Originally being, I think, drafted by the Kings, but I think it was the Kings. I know he was on the Sharks for maybe a little bit too, but I'm pretty sure he was drafted by the Kings. But yeah, I guess time will tell if he can kind of get hot. Again, if he gets hot right now, I mean, I'm so down for it. But until further notice, I still would like to find a third line center for the Rangers. But yeah, this game, absolutely phenomenal. And again, I mean, to kind of, like you said, third period, Lightning come out pretty hot. They score. They get heavy possession. They were out shooting the Rangers in the third period. It was a 1-goal game. You think it could have gotten ugly. But again, defense made some big stops. Rangers obviously made some great plays too. But, I mean, Quick was quick last night to save the game. So, I mean, it was just a phenomenal win, dude.
And are you at a point with Quick where it's like every time he steps up and wins a game, it's like you kind of more and more have the thought process of maybe he is the starting goalie?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with the way he looks in between the pipes. I mean, it's not like he's winning games with 19 saves and barely getting challenged. I mean, he's facing barrages of shots, right? Like constantly, dude, and great like men right in front of the net, and he's able to get the kick pad save on it, or gloving pucks. He's making some really like high quality saves, and he's like. Again, like amping up the team. Like I talk about it all the time. You make a good save on one end that converts to good offense. And we're seeing that now. I mean, the Rangers have been quicker in transition, and I think it's because of Quick. And in regards to who's starting next, I mean, we'll see. Again, reading some, post-game notes from the game last night. Obviously Igor, it's so tough when you hear these quotes because, Igor's talking about how great Quick is and how much he's learning. Just by having Quick at practice, how happy he is that he's doing well and the team's doing well, which obviously you got to look in the back of your mind, maybe like Igor is tight because he's not playing as well, regardless of how he feels, whatever. But Igor did say that he was told by Laviolette first 2 games he wouldn't be starting after the All-Star break.
Okay.
So I think he's anticipating a start next game, which we mentioned is against the Blackhawks.
And that's in Chicago?
I think so. Yeah, it should be in Chicago. Friday, let's see, 30 in Chicago. Correct.
And I believe somebody might have mentioned that about saving him for the weaker opponents, giving them a shot.
Yeah, which again, I mean, obviously you talked about that. We talked about it yesterday. I feel like either way, could have been whatever. But obviously, Laviolette decided that the better move was to get Igor, I guess, ease his way back in.
I mean, and I really think there was a decent possibility if Igor started these 2 games that we would have lost both of them.
I mean, it's very possible.
We didn't score that much.
I know.
You needed to be pumped up in net. So
yeah, I mean, I mean, obviously it's tough to say, but I mean, yeah, you could definitely make that argument. I just hope that Igor is, going to kind of come back a little bit.
Yeah,
figure it out.
But dude. I mean, for me, I don't have like a. I always have liked Igor, but I feel like I don't, don't have like an emotional attachment. It's like whoever's going to play the best want them in that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, especially again, you look at what like Ranger fans went through with their goaltenders. You know, sometimes, I mean, when we went through years of Hank being the best goaltender in the league, and you didn't get a cup ever.
Yeah.
So it's I don't think anything should be off the table in terms of who's starting. You just have to give yourself the best opportunity to win the cup. And right now, it seems like Quick is the better goaltender for us to win the cup.
Yeah. So let's see what happens, and we'll talk about tomorrow's matchup tomorrow. The other two games from last night, you saw the Maple Leafs 5-4 over the Stars, back and forth game. Dallas led after the first period, but then Toronto with 2 in the second ended up being the difference as they win 5-4. And you had Austin Matthews get his 41st goal of the season. He's having a tremendous year.
Ridiculous.
Tavares had his 15th, and William Nylander had number 24 and 25, as well as Mitch Marner with his 22nd. So, good win here for Toronto. You expect it to be tough against Dallas, but I think they took advantage of Wedgwood being in net, even though he's been good. Ottinger has been unbelievable this year. We saw Minnesota 2-1 narrowly over Chicago. So that game, you kind of felt going into it, it could go, either way. Gustafsson, 20 of 21 in net, did a good job for Minnesota. And it was interesting. The two brothers, Marcus and Nick Foligno, were on opposing sides in this one, and they both scored. So that was kind of cool. But Minnesota moves to 22 and 23. It's kind of interesting. I was just thinking about this. I'm looking at the wrong thing here. Is it? Oh yeah. Zuccarello. With Minnesota kind of muddled in the middle. I feel like he's somebody that maybe could get moved. I mean, only 8 goals this year, but 31 assists. What would your thoughts be on a reunion? I mean, it seems like he always scores when he comes back to MSG.
Yeah, that's for sure. I don't know, man. I mean, how old is he? 36? 36? I mean, I guess so. I mean, if the price is right and you can get him, if Minnesota wants to move him and you don't have to give up too much, which again, you shouldn't, his age, maybe just a couple picks, maybe some people from Hartford. Yeah, I'm about it. Another left, I think he plays a left wing, right? Left wing?
Yeah. Oh, no, right wing.
Right wing? A right winger, you can stop on your third or fourth line. Yeah, I'm down. I mean, I'm not entirely convinced by Tyler Pitlick. So I think that, that spot for him, obviously you want to keep Will Cooley. And of course, Wheeler down there too, probably. But I think there's room for,
I think he could help move along the offense, especially with his passing. Like I said, 31 assists.
And dude, he's veteran mind, going to the playoffs. He's been there before.
Right.
Knows what it takes to win. And obviously still has a little bit left in the tank, right, Mike?
Maybe a little. I've always liked him.
Speaking of, it is time, Tony, for a hockey frenzy.
We don't have the frenzy music though on this soundbite.
I need you to sing the whole time.
I don't think I could even do. I can't do that.
No, I'm just kidding, dude. But let's go.
Let's freaking go, people. It is a beautiful Thursday.
Wait, I'm just thinking about this. I know I'm cutting you off, but I'm just thinking, why don't I just play it on YouTube?
Oh, yeah, you can do that, dude. Yeah.
What would make more sense, me or having it?
I guess, yeah, you guys can do it. You want to look up NHL tonight?
Yeah, NHL tonight. I just feel like we need it.
No, we do kind of need it. It would be like a little
music.
Yeah.
Yes. NHL Tonight theme song.
Yes.
YouTube it, baby. Wow, look at that.
Let's go.
Let's go, dude. YouTube.
Some good games tonight.
Let's listen to 963 Hertz, Portal of Love.
With Matthew Gabriel, by the way, saying "Let's go." Big W from the Blue Shirts last night. And then Josh P with the frenzy. Matty G.
Matty G, here we go.
Nice. But, obviously we'll preview it in a second, but first game on the docket, Bruins Canucks.
First game on the docket here. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Around the National Hockey League on this 700th episode of the Sport. Starting off hot and heavy. Let's go. We're going to Brian's favorite city. It is Boston, Massachusetts, as the Bruins are taking on the Canucks of Vancouver. Almost flubbed it there, but it's all right. Boston, minus 135. Vancouver, plus 20 on the road here. Absolutely love to see it. I would imagine the over-under is going to be at 6.5 because of the high scoring here. It is 6.5. Vancouver, of course, being the better team record-wise, 34-11-5. Look at their last few games. The Canucks winning 4 of their last 5. The Bruins dropping 2 of their last 5. Most recently, Calgary dominantly losing, by the way, 4-1. What do you think about Vancouver, dude?
Yeah, I think, they've had a great season. And obviously getting Lindholm, I think, was big. Demko has played well. But I think this is a tough matchup for them. And I know we've talked about this with the Bruins. They have lapses at times and don't win games, that they should. But I think they will win this one. I think this is a tough test for the Canucks on the road. So I think we get a battle of the goalies. I know the total set at 6.5. I like the under here. And I like the Bruins winning this one 3-2 at home.
Bruins winning, Brian. I'm surprised at you here, honestly. Give me Vancouver. I mean, they're plus money. You do not find that very often. I know it's not plus a lot, but it is plus something. And I know the Bruins are great at home at TD Garden, 16-5-3. But hey, the Canucks, 16-7-3 on the road. They are tremendous at coming into your home and beating you down. I know it's tough, but give me Vancouver, and I'm going to say the under. I think Vancouver wins this one 3-2 as we have the Atlantic Highlands of New Jersey calling. You think this is a fan? Oh, you're live in the sports port. No.
I mean, you think of fans calling during the
I would. God damn it, dude. All right, so oh no, dude.
It's an no, Brian.
It's not a loop.
No, you gotta keep. Yeah,
but
it's
I
on
feel like
YouTube.
there's gotta
So
be another version. No,
a longer version. It's all right. He's trying his best here. Next up, dude. Next game here. Oh, there's a ton of games on tonight. Let's keep it going here. As we're going to Florida here, the Panthers are playing the Capitals. Of course, the Capitals kind of stuck here. The Panthers minus 280, heavily favored over under at 5.5, which is pretty interesting. But I mean, not much to say here, Brian. What do you think's gonna happen?
Yeah, I mean it's Panthers, it's the over. Right. Washington, it's just one of those things, just like Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
you can't really see them making another run. I think the team's too old,
right.
Injuries, this and that. So yeah, give me the Panthers in the over. I'm gonna say 5-2.
Yeah, great job there. I totally agree here. Definitely the Panthers. Definitely the over. 5.5 is tough for the under. I understand that the Capitals probably won't be scoring a ton, but you'd imagine the Panthers can score probably at least 4 here tonight.
Reinhart.
Yeah, I mean, give me a break here. So give me the Panthers and the over. It's a shame what the Capitals have been, but I mean, it is what it is. This season for them. Moving along here in the National Hockey League, we're going to Michael's favorite team in his favorite state, Prudential Center, New Jersey, dude. We're going to NBC Hockey Night in America. I love the music. Let's fucking go. The Devils surprisingly winning. I think I forget who it was against because we were saying to the Devils. It was the Avalanche. Yeah, 5-3. Big win there. Can the Devils hold on? Do have Jack Hughes still hot? Nico Herscher in there. Luke Hughes in there as well, dude. And seemingly, we saw Vanacek have a great game against Colorado. Really step up there. So we'll see if we can do it again against Calgary, too, who, again, got a little hot, beat Boston. But what do you think here, dude? Over under, by the way, at 6.5.
Good times rolling.
New Jersey
for
favored
the Flames here. I know, nice win for the Devils, but I don't think they're going to get the job done here. We've seen them be inconsistent all season long. So I'm going to say Flames on the road here, 5-3.
I'm going to have to go against you. 5-3. Flames in the over, you say. I don't know. I've been hot on the Devils last season. They've been biting me in the ass this season. I've barely even picked them because of it. But let's get back on a little bit of the Devils' schneid here. I mean, Dawson Mercer had a goal in that win against Colorado. Let's hope he heats up. Jack Hughes out, but Nico Heischer, the captain, finally healthy, picking up some slack there. And where's Dougie Hamilton with a couple fucking goals? Am I right? Hopefully Vanacek comes up with a good shutdown offense here. So give me the Devils and the under. Devils win this game 3-1. Calgary going on with their woes. Devils in the under there. Moving on, 7 p.m., the Flyers, another team who kind of seemingly are getting past their Carter Hart issue because they had a big win recently, but they're going to be playing the Jets at home at the Wells Fargo Center. Tickets as low as $27. The Flyers here, plus money, the home underdogs, because we know the Jets are so good. Over under at 5.5, Brian. What do you think here?
Classic game. Better team wins, though. So give me the Jets in
Wow.
a tight one. We're going to say 2-1. Under.
I do agree with the under, but I'm going to say give me the Flyers here. I think they're heating up a little bit. Torts making the adjustment, obviously, with the goaltender here. Putting Urson in there. He's doing his best there. 13-9 and 3 shutouts in the season, 2.53 save percentage. Great job there. Torts rallying the team. I think Winnipeg on a 4-game losing streak will continue that little bit of a skid there. Give me Flyers and the under. They win 4-1. Let's go. Next game up here. Moving along. Ooh, great matchup here in Carolina. The PNC Arena here as the Hurricanes take on the Avs. Obviously, the Avs, back-to-back losses to start the second half of the season to the Devils, to the Rangers. But the Hurricanes here just lost to Vancouver 3-2 the other night. Hurricanes have had their woes. Avalanche, though, seemingly a little bit of a cold team here. Hurricanes are favored here at -135 at home, over-under at 6.5. I like the over-under here. They hit on the over, but what do you think, Brian?
Yeah, I agree with you on the over, and I'm going to go with the road Avalanche. I know they've disappointingly lost the last 2 games, against the Rangers and the Devils coming out of the break, but we've seen all season long they're one of the best teams, if not the best team in the NHL. So I think they're going to be scoring a lot in this one. And we've seen Georgiev win a lot, maybe not stop a lot of shots. So I'm going to say high scoring, but they win 5-3 in Carolina.
Yeah, I got to agree with you, honestly, on both fronts here. I think Colorado due for the bounce back. Nathan McKinnon, although in the losses, has still been hot for the Avs. It's just a matter of time before someone else gets hot as well. I think they can defeat the Hurricanes here at home. What do you say? And the over, right?
Yes.
We said, yeah, Avs in the over. They win, I don't know, 4-3 probably, I'll say. Next game up here, the Islanders taking on the Lightning here. We're obviously down. Mikhail Sergachev have just lost to the Rangers. Vasilevsky looks bad. They're going to be on the back-to-back too, so backup tender could honestly help them out. But the Islanders, obviously a team that blows it. Islanders, though, are favorited. No, they are favorited, dude. They're -140 here at home, over under 6.5. What do you think, Brian?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Islanders. Fresher legs here. Lightning on the back-to-back, backup tender. And I think just the Patrick Waugh effect continues. So give me the Islanders, and I'm going to say it is a 5-4 victory over the Lightning.
5-4. I like that, dude. I like the high scoring too. Over under 6.5. I think it'll be the over. I like 5-4. I'll stick to that. Islanders too, honestly. Islanders beating who they beat off. Did they beat Vancouver or was it? Well, they beat Toronto. They beat Toronto a couple of days ago. Big win for them. Again, Lightning on the Schneider, you said. I totally agree. Islanders and the over. Next game, last game, best game. Let's go. It's the Coyotes. Brian's favorite team at home, ASU, hosting the Vegas Golden Knights. Vegas kicked out of Vegas for Super Bowl. They don't even care about hockey over there right now. It's Arizona hockey, baby. What do you think here as the Arizona Coyotes are +150? Dogs at home, over under. I would imagine it's set at 6.5 here. It is 5.5, buddy. What do you think about the Brian Barnaby here?
It's still going under. Connor Ingram. We just talked about Patrick Waugh looking like Patrick Waugh. 40 of 41 in net. 2-1. Clayton Keller. Go ahead and game-winning goal with 30 seconds left in regulation.
I don't know, dude. I don't think the Coyotes have what it takes to win this game, to be honest, dude. I don't care what goaltender it is. Give me Logan Thompson, Aiden Hill, whoever for the Knights. I like the under idea. Knights win this one 3-0, maybe 3-1.
Under 500 on the road.
The Knights are 11, 10, and 4 on the road here.
Well, technically with the ties.
Technically, I guess, yeah, with overtime there. But nonetheless, dude, give me the Knights easily, and that'll do it for your night around the National Hockey.
And I was going to mention this, the Islander Lightning game on ESPN.
I'm Brian Barnaby, ESPN.
What would you say, though, favorite game of the night?
In terms of just matchup?
Yeah.
Canucks Bruins, easily. Yeah, at TD Garden, too. I would love to go to that game. Tickets as low as $62, but we know ESPN
I
fucking
feel
lies.
like I don't I'm not looking at it this second, but I feel like the Islanders tickets can't be too much, no?
It says as low as 19.
There we go.
UBS. Basically, it's bullshit because you hit the link, takes you to Vivid Seats. Actually, it does actually say $19 each, section 313.
Yeah, it's just like, just show it with fees. I never understand showing the price of anything without fees. It's like, oh, you don't want to think it's less, but then when they see the fees, like if that's gonna make the
They're
difference,
still there.
They're not gonna buy it. So I don't know what like the charade is.
That's what it is. I mean, they think we're stupid, is what it is. They think we're dumb people, but we're not. We're not dumb. We're very, very smart. So that's why we don't
figured it out.
Yeah, we figured it out. We know what they're up to. We know what you're up to. Your slimy ways over there at Vivid Seats and Ticketmaster.
Matthew likes the couch, by the way.
He does.
The setup is
I mean,
sick.
what's not
Go,
to like,
Tony,
dude?
Go. Yeah, the couch is ridiculous.
Go, Tony, go.
So a couple of things here before we wrap up. So just another update here from Scottsdale. Aaron Badley, the solo lead here, 2 under through 2. We have a bunch of golfers at 1 under. Obviously only playing a couple holes here, but Bahadia at 1 under, Harmon at 1 under, Jordan Spieth at 1 under, and Max Homa at 1 under as well. Joel Damon, has a shot here as well. We've seen him struggle recently, but you never know what you're going to get with him. He had that big finish at the PGA a couple years ago.
Right.
So we'll keep an eye out for this. Do a recap tomorrow on the first round, and like I said, I'm excited to watch this one later on. It is trade deadline day today in the NBA. Anything crazy you think, Michael, on the horizon? Any predictions?
Which Michael?
And Michael.
I think this year the NBA trade deadline is going to be kind of dead.
No Murray on the move.
I mean, I don't think the Lakers are going to make the move because D'Angelo Russell's been playing well recently, and I think that they believe that if they were to swap those two, I don't think that really helps them. It helps them a lot, but is it going to make them like from a 10 seed to like a 5 seed? I don't think so.
I just have always thought though Murray is like insane. I think he's just in a bad situation.
I have
Trae
an update.
Young just shoots too much. What do you got, Michael?
The Indiana Pacers 2 minutes ago are trading Buddy Hield to the Sixers for Markieff Morris, Furkan Korkmaz, and 3 second-round picks.
Always liked Buddy. Back to the
finally in a good team.
Yeah,
he was killing it.
Huh? Which team?
The Sixers.
Oh, okay.
That's great because Buddy Hield is nice. He's just been on the Kings in Indiana, so you're not going to do anything.
It's good for the Sixers too.
Yeah, they needed that.
They need more scoring when Embiid not there.
Crazy.
The Knicks are in contact with Detroit. I guess that trade didn't go down last night, but they're looking at getting Alec Burks and Bojan Bogdanovic.
What trade was supposed to go down last night?
I saw a rumor that they were getting this kid from he played at Purdue. He's on Detroit.
Jaden Ivey?
Yes.
Purdue, dude.
Wow.
They're supposed to get Ivy. That's the trade I wanted.
Wait, but wasn't he like a top 10 pick?
Yeah.
2 years ago?
He's on the G. He's in the G League for the Pistons.
Wait, why is he in the G?
Because
He has a bit of
It's
playing.
tough, dude.
Pull up his player page here.
Hold up.
If they get Alec Burke and Bogdanovic, that would be insane. That team would be really good.
Oh, I guess he has been playing. He's averaging 15 points a game.
I just think any player on the
I think you were
Pistons,
thinking about somebody else, Michael.
No, I was thinking about him.
But he's not in the G League.
He was in the G League though. They bumped him down. I know he played there. I know he got bumped down for a little bit.
But
He was drafted 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Dang, dude, he needs to get out of Detroit.
But I just think, I mean, that would be good for the Knicks. But
It'd be
I
huge.
think they would have to give like maybe 3 first-round picks. I mean, he's a 5th overall pick 2 years ago.
I know.
Do you think it's worth it though for them to give up those picks for him right now?
I mean, I just think anytime you're trading picks for guys that are already established, I mean, who doesn't want the already established guy?
Right.
Granted that they're not 38 years old.
No, yeah, of course. But don't you think? I mean, it would be a good move. Like the Knicks are trying to push here for the championship. Obviously, like they're doing really well.
Right.
Like, don't you think it's time to kind of risk those picks to get a player right now to win?
No, it is.
Yeah.
It is. And I like the idea of getting somebody younger rather than like getting somebody who's in their mid-30s, early 30s.
How old is this guy?
I think, isn't he 22?
He's 22. Jesus.
Yeah.
Jaden Ivey. Yeah, Jaden Ivey's really
young as hell.
What do you think though about if they do the Burks and Bogdanovic, Michael?
That would
You go ahead.
Sorry, no, you go.
Bogdanovic?
Go.
I think
Michael.
I think it would really help the Knicks because I think
Bogdanovic, but isn't Burks washed? I mean, he was nasty a couple years ago. But.
For depth, I think it'll really help the team. And I'm not gonna lie, if they were to get those two pieces, I feel like they'd be a pretty complete team. I mean, other than that, if Mitch Robb comes back by the end of the season, I mean, that's a pretty scary team going into the playoffs. And normally, I'm not too worried about the Knicks as a Celtics fan, but you know, with Mitch coming back too, that'd be a very, very concerning team.
And it is kind of interesting. I'm just thinking about this. I mean, this is their last opportunity to trade Fournier's expiring contract.
Right.
So, I mean, do you want Murray or no?
DeJounte?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I think he's kind of nice, and it's just like, you know, like I said, I think he's in a bad situation with Trae Young there.
I think what it is too. I think they're asking for a lot too. I think that's why the Lakers and I think that's why other teams aren't trading. I think they're asking for a lot for DeJounte, which makes sense. But like the Lakers, other than D'Lo, like who else are you gonna like? What else are you gonna give the Hawks that they want to give up
future
DeJounte,
first round picks?
Yeah.
Josh B definitely would take Murray. He said.
I'm speaking. All I know is I would prefer not to give up a first round pick for a backup.
I'll tell you this. I would feel pretty good about the Knicks making the finals if they got DeJounte Murray and they didn't have to give up anybody that's in their rotation right now.
Core,
it's all, you know, future assets.
Future assets, dude.
So that'll be interesting to keep an eye out for.
I don't know about finals, but I can see Eastern Conference Finals just because I don't know if I could trust Julius Randle going.
I don't know about finals. I can see finals.
They're getting bounced first round.
You want that to happen?
No, I know it's gonna happen.
No, but do you want it to happen?
No. I'm not you. I don't root against my teams. Like,
when do I root against my team?
Always. As long as Chipper Jones isn't down.
Oh my God, that's so ridiculous. You guys are so
right, Brian.
Yeah,
you guys are childish, immature.
As long as Chipper Jones is in town.
Honestly, you guys are bad sports fans.
No.
Yeah, you guys are bad sports fans, dude. You guys don't like sports.
I do.
You don't like sports.
We're loyal.
No, you're not.
I don't. It doesn't take me one player from 20 years ago to sway me to like the Braves, my rival, if I was a Mets fan.
I don't like the Braves. I admire how good they are. They obviously have a good formula for success. Look,
Brian, hearing you say that as a Mets fan is so mad.
Like, they pump out phenomenal players. They always do well.
I never hear Brian. Hold on a second.
They're a great organization. No, hold on a second. There's no hold on a second. They are a phenomenal organization.
I never hear Brian saying
because you guys are bad sports fans.
Tampa Bay is a phenomenal organization. They've been pumping out players for the last 8 years.
I mean, they do things well, but it's not like they've been like, you know, like dominant and winning their division back-to-back years. The Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah, but they were for that a streak,
weren't they? There was 4 years in a row where the Braves won the NL East and they won the World Series.
Yeah, but
been dropping players, picking up new players, having them do really well, dude. It's not odd. It's not odd at all.
It is.
I grew up watching Chipper Jones play the Mets a lot. I'm like, wow, he's a good fucking player.
Yeah, but I so for example,
I'm not sitting there rooting for the Braves when they're playing the fucking Mets, dude. You sound dumb.
As a
you
Yankee
all sound
fan,
dumb. As a Yankee fan, you didn't watch baseball.
As a Yankee fan back in the day, when there was like a Nomar or whoever coming into town,
Pedro, David Ortiz.
Yeah.
Oh, so much to admire. You don't admire anything.
I hated them.
You hate them. And I do think it has to do with being a Met fan, honestly.
Yeah, it's so much torment.
I'm sorry, but I do think that has something to do with it.
I think
it's a different perspective.
I think you guys operate at a low mental capacity. That's what I think.
Because it's like I'm interested in my team succeeding.
Michael liked that one a lot.
How am I going to admire another team getting in the way? That's like me admiring the Patriots run. There was nothing to admire about it. It was miserable time.
Miserable.
And the Red Sox winning those 4 titles in
like
the last 20 years.
we're picking our favorite Super Bowls based off of Brady losses.
Yeah,
that's how much we hated them.
Yeah, it's like I don't admire rival.
I mean, if you want to live with hate in your heart, that's your thing, dude. You're gonna die nice and young.
Fine.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know what to say. Like, how you can't? What do you mean? Like, I mean, obviously, it's not the team you root for, but you gotta step back and be like, all right, like they fucking pulled it off.
How could I really admire it though?
You're just like really nice to like all these things
that
you
I gotta admire. I have to admire it. Like, I don't know.
You don't have to do anything, Brian. But I admire it. I know you don't. I admire Chipper Jones. He also, as someone who would hate, you know, like obviously big rival to the Mets, he's someone who's like has a huge respect for the team, loves the organization.
Because they beat him all the time.
Named his daughter Shay. Like named his daughter
of how much
after like, Shea Stadium because he loved playing there.
Because how much he owned them.
Yeah, he owned them.
Stop it. That's stop
you think
it,
he
dude.
named his daughter because he loves Shea Stadium so much?
Literally quoted saying that. So
stop
yeah,
it.
Dude.
Jay Bird is quoted as saying, "Happy 700th episode."
Jay, I
Can't
wish
wait
you were
for
here.
1,000.
I would change any one of these 3 people for you right now, Jay. That's a fact.
But that is a debate I think that could go on for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the way. I mean, I don't know, man. It's just I just like.
I would never
sports.
admire David Ortiz.
I admire sports runs. Jesus Christ, man, the man's been stabbed. Like, come on, you gotta admire him a little bit.
That's why did he get stabbed? Might have
Did
put
he have it
himself in
coming?
that situation. I don't know.
I mean, you could argue that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I feel like it seems like it wasn't his fault.
But it seems like it wasn't really his fault because, it's Poppy. He cracks up. He's such a nice guy. He couldn't have done anything wrong. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, he's having an affair. He's
steroid use.
Yeah, he's part of crimes. Like, it's like you have no idea. Like, you know what
No,
I
I
mean?
don't. But I'm just saying, like, you can see certain scenarios, like Plaxico Burress shooting himself in the foot. That's his fault. Like, that's so obvious. This one, obviously, maybe it's not so obvious, so maybe it's not at all. Like, I don't know. You can't say.
Yeah, I mean, but I would say too, like most of the time, like if someone like has an attempt on their life, like it's not because they were sitting there with their hands in the pocket. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right. I
That's-
mean, honestly, it could have been you who walked in the door who tried to kill him. It sounds like you would.
Oh, Tony.
Not denying it, Michael.
Last thing
Not
here,
denying it.
Doesn't have to address it.
before we wrap
It
it up.
does need to be addressed.
I saw this yesterday and I was kind of surprised because I don't know. I guess the ballpark doesn't seem like it's 100 years old, but I guess the White Sox are planning on building a new park in Chicago.
That's pretty cool.
Is it?
So
Are you allowed to admire it?
So I think it's a good idea just because I've been to their park and I think it's guaranteed rate field now. But just the vibe there isn't good. And I know they haven't played well recently.
Right.
But I think, that coupled with a little more success in the field, I think would energize the fan base because obviously they've always been the second act in Chicago. It's kind of like the Mets in New York.
But it's kind of tough though, because I mean their team their atmosphere, their manager, like their team is going all downhill. So I don't know how much it's really gonna help the team really.
Well, obviously it just depends on who they add.
They're gonna need to really bolster that roster. I mean,
not even a billionaire could help them, some would say.
Yeah, exactly.
Just buy a
But
championship.
he's done such a
or
good
something.
job since taking over.
Oh, yeah.
Everything that.
I mean, we can have that conversation again if you. I mean, obviously, you feel like you don't feel right, so you have to bring it up again and keep bringing it up because you're worried about.
The only thing I
you're
don't like about the
wrong, dude.
Mets, honestly, is that they copied the logo and everything. The Yankees coming
and then
in.
get all their old players.
No, I mean,
after
they didn't
they're
really
done.
copy anything, dude.
It's
I mean,
the same
honestly,
logo.
dude.
I mean, it's basically the same logo.
Right.
Pinstripes.
Pinstripes.
I mean, yeah, maybe
It's like
I mean,
hand-me-downs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
actually,
mean,
that's a good look.
Yeah, that's fine if you think so.
Yeah. But that's the Mets, right? But fellas, before we wrap up here, anything else anybody wanted to mention on the way out?
I mean, what a great show.
Yeah, solid show.
Yeah,
guys.
happy
So awesome.
700.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Shout out to Nolan.
Great venue.
Great venue. Oh, honestly, yeah. I wish we could do it here all the time, dude. This is sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is.
Huge opportunity from Sharon. Really
Yeah,
appreciate
appreciate
it.
it, Sharon.
And he even, like we talked about, he took time out of his day to help us out as well. Not even just
Early in the
here's
morning.
your
Yeah.
space, like
Yep.
whatever.
Yeah, he
Like,
came in
he
here.
made sure things were working correctly for us, which
There's
is
heat
great.
today.
Yeah. But some may say a little too much heat.
No one's saying that.
No one's saying that. My
one's
feet are
saying
still
that.
cold.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
one's saying
Your
that.
feet are cold. Maybe
Nobody
you have
said
poor blood
that.
circulation. Maybe.
No.
No,
No,
it's just
just-
cold. in
it's just
here.
cold
I'm a
in here,
human
dude.
being, and I'm
Yeah.
not. I don't know. I don't have a coat of fur on me to keep me warm.
Saying you're hairy.
No, I didn't mean that.
Are you trying to say I'm hairy?
I'm saying though, like when it's cold, like unless you have a coat of fur, you're gonna be cold.
I mean,
Unless
that's
you're wearing like, a
fine.
bunch of layers.
I
That's
mean,
all I'm
I am a
saying.
hairy man. I guess we have to point it out. Like,
I bet, dude. You're acting like I called you a woolly mammoth or something.
I mean, they all saw it too. They already said, "Wow, dude."
Oh man, but this has been great. And we really appreciate, like I said, the Nolan having us here and everybody who's been along with us
For the ride.
for the ride. Yeah. And we look forward to continuing to have discussions with you guys on sports every day.
Oh
And
yeah.
we appreciate everyone who comments, likes, and subscribe. Checking out all the archives on the YouTube page.
One more announcement,
Michael, Renee, and Jay in costume, and
The TCA Sportsport collab extravaganza on the 18th. This is the last week
Oh, to register.
to register.
Oh wow,
let's
that's
go.
right.
So definitely register.
Like,
It's gonna
what
be a
day?
great day.
I'm pretty sure
Tuesday.
we said a week out, but we'll do Monday.
Tomorrow. Oh wait, no, sorry. Today's Friday. Wow, I feel like it's like
Today's
Sunday.
Thursday.
Today's Thursday.
Thursday.
Oh my god, dude.
Feels like a Friday.
Feels like a Friday. It feels
Um,
like a Sunday because we're remote horseshoe.
So yeah,
Feels like it's 10 o'clock at
we'll
night
say
right now.
Monday.
All right. Yeah. So
Thursday,
everybody
Monday, dude.
sign up for that. Going to be a time and a half.
I still feel like
Also,
Sunday,
back to
Super
normal
Bowl.
time tomorrow, 10 o'clock.
Yep.
Yes.
For a big Super Bowl preview show. And we want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games, and we will see you.
Oh, no.
Mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do.